What's up, Dreamedia family? This is Zach and Kellen. We're out here, CEDIA 2024 at the URC booth. And today we wanted to talk about something that's light commercial, yet light residential as well. We've been getting a lot of requests for things such as karaoke, individual paging for rooms, such as like old school intercom systems that are being ripped out. And today we wanted to talk about URC's paging and ducting capabilities.
Yeah.
Very, very cool, and something that I feel is a huge problem solver.
One of the things though we wanted to be different about is what you can do with the LEDs and the notifications. So what I can show here is a demonstration of, so say for instance, if somebody comes by and they open my pool gate, I can have all these flash red, notifying me that someone's opened the gate for the pool. I should check and see what's going on or check the cameras. A big common complaint we always heard from people with LED lights is that would keep them up at night, you know, just the LEDs are too bright.
Yeah.
So you can actually go into like a night light mode, you know, where actually you'll either dim it out or actually brighten it up so you can have it where it's a pathway and light it up. Geofence notification, I actually did use this when our daughter was going to school. She had her phone with her, so when she reached the school, she'd get notified that our daughter was now on the school property.
You can geofence a different property?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, so like you get to your office.
Right.
And it triggers an event.
Exactly.
Interesting. Okay, so I have it set up in my own home just for when I get within 50 yards of the house.
I mean, miles.
A series.
You can be somewhere else altogether.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And that's the paging and ducting capabilities that they have built into their processors, which we're actually going to make a more extensive video on that, as well as I have demonstrations coming up on my own home, how I utilize the paging and ducting throughout the entire home for things such as like dinner's ready. My wife hits a button and it kicks us all into high gear, like get downstairs, rather than her yelling at us around the house.
So you can do animations and colors. So here I'll show you where it's just basically just doing all types of different things. You can actually segment the LEDs.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, some neat stuff you can do with that. Fire TV, that's IP control because really no one's been able to do it, and Xiaomi has developed a new program for that, or new module for that. And there's also Ring. So the cool thing about the Ring, and you had mentioned it before, as far as how I can integrate it, it's pretty impressive because as soon as you do hit the device,
boom,
it pops up.
I can't come to the door right now.
Right away.
I'm afraid that in my weakened condition, I could take a nasty spill
And-
downstairs and subject myself to further school absence.
Is that Ferris Bueller?
Ferris Bueller, yeah.
Business. Thank you for
Okay, so I don't have
I
that.
appreciate your
So
concern.
when
So that's part of the HDA. That's part of HDA, our amplifiers, because you can actually put in various WAV files in there.
voice tracks.
So yeah, voice tracks, announcements, things like that. So we did a whole
Guess I got more to do at the house.
Yeah. Oops, I gotta wait till this
Right
actually
now I
suffers
have it
through.
to where you hit it and it populates on every single device in the home, and that's great. I mean, like I have the older version of this sitting on the kitchen counter, and we use it religiously now. Like when a package comes, instead of us going to the door and seeing if it's actually somebody that we need to answer the door for, it pops up, we know it's the UPS guy, we're just like, all right, we know a package is out there, now we can keep cooking.
Not only do we work with just the Ring door station, but we work with all the Ring cameras. If I wanted to, I can go back to the main, I can go to Ring, and I can then say, all right, let's take a look at the camera that's mounted up there. The great thing about it was that, I don't know if you've ever seen it, I have a Ring at home, but when someone rings the doorbell and then you actually pull out your phone, you go finally see it, hit say yes, ours is actually faster. Ring was actually impressed. They were like, wait, what? You know, so it comes up like instantaneously.
Well, and the only reason I think you had a little lag is just because we're at an event center and the internet isn't great. At my home, I mean,
yeah, it's instantaneous.
it's quick.
So yeah, it's great with that.
And again, I love that you guys drive this home.
No
fees on anything, guys. This is really important. The fees just get stacked on with a lot of other platforms.
They do.
I actually have this unit. Can be configured as 8 ohm or 70 volt, which is why I fell in love with it and needed it for my landscape audio system in the backyard.
Yes.
I ended up putting in 4 satellite speakers, 2 rock speakers, and an in-ground 12-inch subwoofer, all powered up over this one unit. And it communicates with, I believe it's the 8100 I have,
Yes.
which is a whole home, 8 zone, 8 ohm speaker amplifier that allows me to independently control the source to every single room in the house, but it pairs together perfectly with the 70-volt application that I'm utilizing here. And those are two separate installations, same network, zero lag, zero syncing issues. They work flawlessly.
The other nice thing about this, you have microphone inputs on this. And all these units has a built-in DSP. And Peter will go into that later, but there's some really cool things, especially for a commercial application. You're using it exactly the same way as I do in my house, and it just sounds great. Because with a 70-volt system, you're just not getting the bottom end. And now you can do it just with the one unit, which is great.
Incredible problem solver here.
Yeah.
And it would be amazing for light commercial applications as well.
It's
For
perfect.
bars and restaurants, cuts back on your installation time because you only have to run one wire. I didn't really talk about that much, but that's the big advantage to 70-volt systems is your daisy chaining.
You're doing your whole property. It makes sense to do a 70-volt system because you're walking around the property. You're not looking for stereo sound. You're looking for background music. But high quality background music. We've actually had a lot of people now actually utilizing this for karaoke.
Yeah, we get a lot of requests for karaoke.
Yeah, so they're doing that. So it's a bit of a higher end karaoke unit. But yeah, paging and ducking. So now with the microphone, say, okay, everyone for dinner, and it goes broadcasting throughout the whole house. You can do that. You can pre-record announcements, as you heard there before, when you heard Ferris Bueller. So when someone rings the doorbell, you're now going to hear, whatever you're choosing.
All right, thanks Lars for giving us a rundown on the rest of the space. Now I'm going to pass it off to Peter, and he's going to be talking specifically today about the URC HDA technology.
We move on to this one. This is our best seller in commercial, but also gets used a lot in residential.
I was just over there raving to Lars about how phenomenal this unit has fit into my own home design for my landscape audio system in the backyard.
This amplifier can be a 70-volt amplifier and or a low-Z amplifier, both at the same time. Low-Z is basically the amplifiers you grew up with, your home theater receivers. A low-Z audio amplifier can drive like a 4-ohm load, an 8-ohm load, and has a high frequency spectrum. It's typically going down a little, 20 hertz all the way to 20K for really good amplifiers. Works really well in a situation where you have the speakers right around you, like a home theater or a stereo zone. But it's a little difficult to use a low-Z amplifier in a commercial setting where you may have 40, 50 speakers all playing the same content. And in that case, you'd want to go with a 70-volt amplifier because that can drive as many speakers as you put on there up to a 600-watt rating for this particular amp and give you, more dispersion of the sound. Really good 70-volt speakers can get down to like 50 hertz before they start sounding muddy.
It's for high output, large areas.
Not an audiophile situation.
Yeah, exactly. But in certain applications, it can appeal more to an audiophile than doing an 8-ohm speaker load just because of the output.
Correct.
Like in my own backyard, I have 4 sats, 2 rocks, and an in-ground 12 all powered off this one unit. And to achieve that, I'd need quite a bit of juice to run them in 8-ohm. Whereas I'm able to efficiently run that entire system with like a 35-40% output. If I can't even get it up to 100% output because it fills the space so well. And it also reduces the amount of wiring that's required. For outdoor landscape audio systems, for residential is primarily the use for us. We're reducing, in that situation, I would have had to run 9 wires, whereas I only had to run 2. Well, actually I ran 1 that had 4 wires in it, 1 for the sub and 1 for the landscape speakers, but it dramatically reduced the labor rate and install time, and that goes for residential and commercial. For commercial properties, large office buildings where you just need background music, or a bar or a restaurant. Absolutely incredible unit, and especially when you pair it together with the paging and ducting capabilities, which I think you're going to talk about coming up here.
The nice thing about this amp too, it has 2 channels. It can be used simultaneously, one channel driving 70-volt speakers, and then the other channel can be used to drive a subwoofer. So,
which is what I'm doing.
Yeah, so I mentioned that low-Z speakers have a better frequency response, especially in the low range. Well, in your case, you have your 70-volt speakers, which sound fine, but maybe you want a little extra giddy up.
Need a little up.
This one amp will power both 70-volt and low-Z speakers, and it auto-detects the type of speaker it's connected to. So it's not like you have to program it to operate as a specific type of amplifier. It's our most powerful amp, so it does, in the low-Z situation, it does 600 watts per channel into 8 ohms, 1200 watts per channel into 4 ohms. On a 70-volt side, This will do 600 watts of power for any of your 70-volt speakers. The other thing too that's nice about our lineup, you can stack multiple amplifiers, any other model, and they all share sources through the network. This particular amplifier has some goodies built into it. Got the microphone inputs, which are XLR adapter that's included inside of the box. This input can be used for either a line level balanced analog, pro style type of source, or 2 microphones. Any microphone that's plugged into this amplifier can be shared with any other amplifier in the house, even the low Z amplifiers. Now, usually when you have microphones, you have to have some sort of DSP processing for the microphone, something you can't just plug it in and go.
Yeah.
Our theory when we do designs is, what's the bang for the buck? Why would somebody want to buy URC over brand X?
Yeah.
So what we did is we took what you would normally have to have an outboard DSP processor for the microphone and built it all into the actual chassis itself. So for each microphone, you have adjustable limiters, adjustable noise suppressor, 5-band parametric EQ with Q control, and
Very
gain control,
impressive.
and it's all built right in. So you plug this in, you can configure the microphones. It also has phantom power built in, so 12, 24, 48 volt
So
phantom
many
power.
features, guys. I feel like we could talk about this unit all day. It's a problem-solving piece. It really is.
So the other nice thing about the microphone ducking is that auto senses the microphone input and can duck the audio down as you speak over the audio.
That sort of a pace. Albon leads across the line. That's a crash, and it is.
Mr. Smith, party of 4, your table is ready. Mr. Smith, party of 4, your table is ready.
All right, I got to get this.
Next to cross the line,
Gotta turn
and
the
that
switch
is
on.
a big accident there for Kevin Magnussen, who lost it out of the final chicane and then slewed across the...
What's up, Dreamedia family? We're out here at CDO 2024! That's pretty cool.
So yeah, that can duck over any source playing on any amplifier. So even if you have a larger installation where you have a few 1600 amplifiers, a few low Z amplifiers, that same audio you heard will be ducked over whatever zones that you want.
That's awesome.
We can use audio sensing for ducking. We can use, if you want just a button to turn on the microphone, we can use contact closures if you have a push-to-talk microphone.
Even if this unit were on the other side of the building or the other side of the home, and your main rack somewhere else housing these, any zone that's connected to these units you could page and duct in the microphone audio to that particular zone or the entire building as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely. And you don't need any more RCA interconnects between amplifiers.
That's
amplifier
huge.
Up. It makes it so much simpler, on the network. The other cool thing about all of our amplifiers, even our smaller ones, is each amplifier has the ability to store up to 10 wave files that you can use as sound effects for commercial paging, for doorbell interrupts, for any kind of security system thing you would need. So for example, older systems, you would have to have some sort of exterior box to store your interrupt sounds, your chime files, things like that. So for example...
Are you okay, Valtteri?
Ducks the audio and then
So, Hulkenberg.
So another problem-solving feature is different things you can do for doorbells, even in commercial installations, which a lot of times in commercial installations, the company or grocery store wants to play some sort of promotion on a schedule.
Yeah.
So we've been installed in a lot of fitness centers where they want to plug their fitness shop periodically. So
2 years and...
Did you know that the first personal training session is always free with absolutely no obligation?
And you can store these WAV
Each
files
client
for
is
all different
individually
purposes.
assessed and specific fitness goals are then determined. Schedule your free consultation today.
This particular module I'm using is a module we built that if you were at a sports bar, for example, and you wanted to key sounds off when the home team scores, you can do that. College fight songs, things like that. It's really kind of up to the imagination. Each one of these units can store up to 10 WAV files, and they're all shared, just like sources are shared. So all that ducking and everything you hear can be shared throughout the entire system. If you need more than 10 per unit, we have a small box called an HDA I/O, which you can just use as sound file storage if you want.
Kellen, I wanted to bring you in here to just give us a little insight into some of the common questions and applications that you get on a daily basis and how you feel this product can fit into your customers' lives.
The paging, I think it's a cool feature. Don't get a whole lot of, I would say, requests. On the residential side, I see a lot more upside on the commercial side. If you are doing something, commercial, restaurant, sports bar, something that you would want paging, introducing some microphone to come over, you could really see this being super beneficial. Instead of having to have a box or an MP3 player essentially that has sounds on it, a mixer with a microphone, having to manually turn the volume down and make an announcement. You know, you don't need to do that anymore. This thing is all in one, has everything DSP. I mean, Peter did a fantastic job of going over all the features. And so, I mean, simple application use, I think restaurants is going to be the #1 beneficiary of this product. I mean, if you have music going, you have sports going, and you need to tell Jim Bob that his table is ready, just grab the microphone and tell Jim Bob his table is ready. You don't have to turn down the volume, it does it automatically. Your voice is now the priority over everything that's playing, and so there's no excuses for Jim to miss his table over there. Everyone can hear you. You can jump in and out of making announcements with little disruption.
It's a great solution, guys, and something that we've had requests for in the past, and until we've deep dove into URC and really understood their entire line, I don't think we had a solution for it. We've been educated properly on this solution. I'm utilizing some of these functions in my own home on a residential basis. I can see how fluid it could work. And, you know, they also showed examples of the product in use, you know, so giving use case examples, which I'm really grateful to Peter for giving you guys the rundown. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and found it informative and helping you make a buying decision. If you like this video, give us a big thumbs up. And do not forget to smash that subscribe button down below for more. Till next time, this is Zach and Kellen with Dreamedia. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.